Good morning. If you'd like to stand, we'll sing our call to worship. Once we get Kelly here. Everybody here? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a look at the person next to you.
Look at the person next to you.
Say I loved you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary.
Feel the love in the sanctuary.
Lift your voice and repeat after me.
Lift your voice and repeat. We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
In the name of love. We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
In the name of love.
Now look at the person next to you.
Take a look at the person next to you.
Say I recognize the God in you.
Recognize the God in you.
Now feel the love in the sanctuary.
Now feel the love in the sanctuary.
Lift your voice and repeat after me.
Lift your voice and repeat. We come together.
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 In the name of love. We come together.
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 In the name of love.
From every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other.
Take a look at the person next to you. Look at the person next to you.
Say namaste, I bow to you.
Say namaste, I bow to you.
Feel the love in the sanctuary.
Now feel the love in the sanctuary.
Lift your voice and repeat after me.
Lift your voice and repeat. We come together.
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 In the name of love. We come together.
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 In the name of love. We come together.
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 In the name of love. We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
We come
We
together.
come together.
In the name of love.
Good morning. Good morning. Why did we come together? In the name of love. Anyway, good morning, everybody. My name is Blake Bringsmith, and I'm pleased to be your worship assistant this morning here today. And I'd like to welcome everybody who's watching on the YouTube channel. Let's all say hello to everybody. We have come together in the name of love, and we're glad you're all here. I have a few announcements that I would like to read before we really launch into this thing. Let's see, the Deepening Discussion Group. Wait, what? I have the wrong. Terribly sorry. That being said, we have still come together in the name of love. Aha! The past current life reading will be available. Just a quick reminder that Julie Chai will be available to do past and current life readings with you today after the service if you are interested.
Blake,
Yes?
but not today because I'm in the membership class.
Well, you've jumped
There's
the...
sign-up sheets for the next 3 Sundays.
Okay.
That I'm available.
So I'm told there's a sign-up sheet for the next 3 Sundays in the hallway. We just flow with this up here. This is all in divine order. All right, so there is a sign-up sheet, and I highly encourage you to do it. It's a beautiful experience and very interesting, as I can personally attest to. And there is a new member class, Julie, you're right. One of the new member classes will be held today after fellowship at 12:15 p.m. in the sanctuary. If you're interested, it is still possible for you to attend, even if you did not register previously. See Bob White for more information, and you'll be seeing Bob White for a lot more information shortly. Dick Mallory returns. Please mark your calendars for September 26th at 6:30 p.m. when Dick returns to talk about his latest backpacking adventures. We have a budget meeting coming up, so please join us on Sunday, September 28th. Sunday, September 28th, following the service for an important budget meeting. The discussion will focus on the need to revise the allowable expenditures levels to address unexpected budget increases this year. Your attendance and input is needed to make the necessary adjustments. We have our fall food drive coming up. The Father Fred Food Drive will be occurring this year from September 27th through October 5th. As in previous years, we'll be manning the table at Tom's East Bay Food Store for one of those days. Our day will be Saturday, October 4th from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. We're asking for volunteers to sign up for 2-hour shifts throughout the day. Yes, the sign-up sheet is on the information table. Having a person at the table makes a significant difference in the amount of food that is donated. So please consider volunteering for this important community event. Please see Kathy Baker if you have any questions. Kathy, are you here today? There she is. You can see her afterwards. Thank you. And many of you, I'm sure, have participated, but I'm sorry? Is my microphone on?
Yes.
Okay, well, the vote's against you on that one. My mic, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Well, excellent. Perhaps it's a marriage thing. I don't know. Hey, no fault attributed there. Sometimes we... Am I turning red yet? Okay, moving right along. What I wanted to say about that is if you have never done it, it is an extremely powerful experience on many, many fronts. One, you're raising food for folks who are in need. Two, speaking from my own personal experience, I see people coming who I think, oh, they're not going to be interested, or they're not in a position, or whatever, and I'm going to tear up in a second. It's challenges all of my judgments, which I'm glad to be reminded of, and it's heartwarming, absolutely heartwarming to see people want to give, and I highly encourage you to do it. It's a very, very rewarding and insightful experience, at least it has been for me. So anyway, the Death Cafe is being brought back for a second year. The event will happen on Sunday, October 12th at 12:15 p.m. Vicki Green and Meg Young will be facilitating, and if you don't know what it is, it's an opportunity to talk about losses, grief, and to ask questions or impart knowledge about different forms of burial. Yeah, and so all sorts of grief can be discussed in this group. And it was very successful. That's why it's being brought back. And we have a quick update from Molly about the Ricky Byers concert, whose music we sing regularly, happily, loudly, mostly really well.
So I just want to let you guys know that there's a new opportunity regarding this concert. We have a very generous donor who has agreed to pay for the concert ticket and the hotel room for anyone who would like to go. So, yes, anybody who would like to go? No, just anyone who wants to go. Someone is willing to pay your way. So if you are interested in taking advantage of this wonderful opportunity, please come and see me, okay?
Thank you. Hey, and thank you to whoever that generous anonymous donor is. That is wonderful. All right. Well, and with that, if I'm not mistaken, we have a congregational song to sing. So let's get busy.
conscience refined, with body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather the Spirit growing in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun. Winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once again.
One of my favorite hymns that we sing. Let us now enter into prayer. Father, Mother God, we are here today gathering in spirit, gathering in faith, gathering in love. We are strengthened by one another's presence. We are strengthened by the reaffirmation and remembering that we are all truly divine. And we take that in. And we open our hearts in this moment, at this time, to the music, to the fellowship, to the message, knowing there is a piece in it for each one of us personally, that all is in divine order, that there is something called upon our hearts to do, to be. And as we continue on into the service today, we open our hearts to whatever message, to whatever still quiet voice is placed upon our hearts by that Christ presence within and the connection we have in spirit to all that is, for all that is God. Together we say, Amen. We also enter into our time of meditation now, so I invite you with that open heart to take some deep, slow, cleansing breaths. Relax into your chair. Let your shoulders come down. Maybe a nice gentle stretch of your neck. And with each slow, deep breath, we relax into God. For we know that that divine presence is within. And if, as we peel back the layers of whatever human stresses or human concerns that might have been on our mind this morning, we get closer and closer to our true nature. For surely as the sun rose and is radiating down upon us today, there is a divine presence that radiates from you and to you, from those seated beside you, in front of you, and behind you, and truly every person you encounter. I invite you now to take a walk with me to a beautiful river. Maybe one that you have seen in the past, or one that you have envisioned yourself watching it flow, that gin clear water, that beautiful sound of water rushing against rocks, with birds along the banks, with the light being shaded from the trees, dappled on the surface. And maybe you put your foot in the river to feel its coolness as the sun shines down upon you. And you notice the rocks in the river breaking the surface. Some are bigger, some are smaller. And you appreciate and are calmed by the sound of the water rushing against the rock. And you appreciate how the water flows around the rock. It isn't moving the rock, for the rock is part of the river. The river is part of the rock. And we can envision something in our life that we may see as an obstacle or an impediment to the flow of our life. And this is one way to look at the rock. Or perhaps that rock is simply part of the joy of living a meaningful life. It is part of our life that we flow around, not through, nor do we attempt to force it to move, but we take it in stride just as the river takes the rock. We can look at those rocks as opportunities, as gifts, that the universe is presenting us what we need to become closer to that divine presence, so that we may express that divine presence. With a new appreciation for something that no longer serves us as a challenge, as a problem, but as an opportunity and as a gift. Just as sometimes we cross a river by stepping on the rocks, getting to the other side. And without those rocks, we would not be able to cross the river. I invite you to move into the silence and consider and affirm anything you saw as a challenge, as a rock in the river of your life, to a blessing and a gift to be used to express your divinity. Father, Mother God, thank you for the opportunity, the reminder that we have so many options to look at our lives as gifts every day and in every moment, and for the free will to make that choice over and over again as we need. Together we say, Amen. And apropos, let us speak together our statement of unity, which is on the screen together. Joy-filled, I release what no longer serves my highest good.
This inner space has the power to set me free. It's the cavern of creation and the truth of you and me. This inner space, an eternity of time. It's a moment of the holy now and the allness that is mine. This inner space contains all that I need. From deep within the invisible flows the living air I breathe. This inner space is flowing in my bones. It stirs my heart, it stirs my mind in every prayer I've ever known. And I say, breathe, just breathe. Now breathe this peace. This inner space is the ocean of your soul. And when you feel most broken, the truth is you are whole. This inner space connects us one to all. And though it would never push you, it will break down every wall. So I say, breathe, just breathe. Now breathe this peace. This inner space invites us to renew. In all my endless choosing, I become the chosen to this inner space. It never knows the past. In a quiet place you can hear it, and it might just make you laugh. So I say, breathe, just breathe. Now breathe
This is not fair. I have to follow that. I'm telling you. Meg was our office assistant way back when. And somewhere along the line, I don't know if it was after she left, but still continued to come, or before she left, unannounced, she showed up with the music team. And oh, okay. Well, so don't confuse me with the facts, okay? So anyway, she steps up here and does that, and we were all sitting there going, that was beautiful, thank you. And Blake, once again, we must have this connection when he's the worship assistant and I'm the speaker, because inevitably or invariably, he'll take something of what I was going to say and say it for me. So I'm going to get to a place in the talk today when I'm going to save us some time and just go what Blake said. And we'll be ready to go. This is our second week of What's in the Way is the Way. And before I get to this week's stuff, I'd like to take just a few minutes and summarize a little bit of what we talked about last week in case someone wasn't here. Basically, what we did is that we were introduced to something called the meadow. And the meadow was within each and every one of us, and it's where spirit lives, it's where we live, and actually, it's the meadow of comfort. And it's where we belong. And that's where we stay until there's this other thing in our head called the storyteller. And the storyteller remembers everything we did wrong, everything we heard that wasn't true that we accepted about ourselves, every shortfall, and plays those over again and again, so that if a similar situation comes up, what we hear is, you can't do that. Why even try? You're not smart enough. You're not good enough. You're just not enough. That comes up. So we have those two, and from that storyteller, we get clouds that form in our minds. There are the clouds that start to encompass us and block out the meadow. So we no longer see the meadow. We no longer can be the meadow at that point. And so that's what happens to us. We fall back into those patterns of what we think we know about ourselves that is not true. But there is a way around that. And that's done with compassionate curiosity. If we can stop when these thoughts come up from the storyteller or these situations come up from our past and just look at it and say, okay, I see you, I hear you, but this is not true. This is not true now. And when we do that enough, those clouds start to dissipate, and once again, we're back in the meadow where we belong. So that's one of the overriding themes of this book, is that what we do is that we acknowledge our challenges. We don't deny them, we don't hide them, we don't run away from them, we don't scream at them. We just accept them as for what they are, an idea that is incorrect and does not have to affect us any longer. It's a perfect example of just letting go of what no longer serves us. Because at one time, these things did serve us. They were the ways that we were able to cope with whatever trauma we were in. It got us through that, but it never went away. It's interesting. A lot of scientists and psychiatrists say that pretty much our impression of ourselves and what we believe in the world is formed by the age of 6. Think of that. So that by 6 years old, we have seen enough, we have been confused enough, been scared enough that we form these images of what we are, and we get rid of them or have them move on by denying whatever it is that we do. By 6 years old. You've heard it said that, or someone will say to you, you're acting like a child. Well, they're right. Because all these things that happened in childhood, we carry with us and use them until we decide to see them, honor them. Life is actually always lived through the heart, not through the head. You know, our heads keep us moving, they keep us going, they keep us alive. Our hearts keep us human. It's the love, the understanding, and it's how we can relate in a much more thoughtful way with everybody. Trust does not mean that you will get what you want by trusting in life, but you will get what you need to emerge from the clouds and get back to the meadow. What we need to realize most is that we are not broken, we don't need to be fixed, and we don't need to live our lives the way we think we should live them to be happy. And all the happiness we have is right inside us. Nothing outside can make us happy. And if we realize that, we are on the way to spending more time in our meadow. So, that was last week. This week there were 2 chapters. One was getting to know the meadow, and the other, I love this title, Fear, Nothing to be Afraid of. Says who? Says Mary O'Malley, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. There are 5 qualities of the meadow that help us to return to it or realize it if we're having difficulty with that. And the first one is flow. Thank you, Mr. Ringsmith. Everything in life flows. From the birth of our body to the death of our body, the seasons from day to night and night coming back, everything flows. And Blake spoke about rocks in that flow, in that stream. The sad part is that the majority of those blocks that we come across are ones that we put in there. They're not there because of life. They're there because of we put them in there. And it's up to us to find a way to deal with them. Clouds of struggle block reality and lead us to thoughts of lack, limitation, and separation. It's like we're viewing life out here, but we're in here. And we're not participating in it, we're watching it and reacting to it as we go. Don't try to control, allow the flow of life to occur. And then you can remain in the meadow more often. Second one, spaciousness. Being in the moment, not being constrained by these clouds, because what happens when we get these clouds around us? We tighten up. We shut down. Not nearly as much can get through to us. But there is spaciousness in us and in this meadow. Think about walking along a long beach at the ocean, at Lake Michigan, at the Gulf of Mexico, whatever. There's spaciousness there. Think about looking out the window of an airplane as you're flying across the country. Think about looking at Lake Michigan from one of those top of those hills in Empire. See the spaciousness of this world, and that spaciousness is also with us. Compare that to the feeling that you have when the clouds constrict you. How does it feel when you're the last person to walk into a full elevator? How is it when you're trying to leave Michigan Stadium after a football game? Or how is it when you're trying to get out of Pine Knob after a big concert? When we're open to life, all of the spacious energy flows into us and through us, and it allows us to feel that joy of being truly alive, rather than just getting by. Next principle is light, and we've heard of light a lot. the light of God, the light within us, the light we have to share with the universe. We talked last week, or mentioned last week, about people who glow. They just have this thing. That can be each of us when we discover the meadow within us and around us and know that is how we are meant to live. That's what we are. That's what we were here for, and that's the way we're supposed to live, as long as we don't get in our own darn way. Relying on these things that aren't true anyhow. There was a quote in the book attributed to Plato, and it reads, "We can forgive a child for being afraid of the dark. The real tragedy in life is when people are afraid of the light." When we are afraid to shine the light that is within us, that's the tragedy. And by doing that, we are robbing the universe of that thing that only we have, the light within us. It's the greatest gift we can offer the world. And when we do that, we are demonstrating that we're living life and experiencing life as it's supposed to be. And that feels pretty damn good when we do it. Darn good, sorry. Love, of course, is one of the aspects as well. Everything is love. We're love. God is love. And if we don't feel that, it's because those clouds of struggle are blocking us from expressing it. When living from our hearts with love is when our light shines the brightest. And the final quality is stillness. There's a quote by Thomas Keating, who's a Trappist monk, and he says, "Silence is God's first language. Everything else is a poor translation." Eckhart Tolle wrote, your innermost sense of self, who you are, is inseparable from silence." And from Scripture, Psalm 46, "Be still and know that I am God." And one last one from James Dillett Freeman. "In the silence is the strength for a tired body. In the silence is the light for a joyless mind. In the silence is love for the lonely spirit. And in the silence is peace for the troubled heart." In unity in the silence, we are one with God, with Spirit. And these 5 qualities are at the core of the meadow. And the only reason we don't notice them is if the clouds have blocked our view. And these 5 things are what we can use to get back to the meadow after we have been blocked and in the dark and fighting through the fog for however long we choose to do that. So that's the meadow, in a little bit more detail than last week. Fear. It's nothing to be afraid of. Okay, fine. In this chapter, Mary O'Malley is trying to foster a completely new understanding and response to fear. She encourages curiosity instead of resistance, presence instead of avoidance. She suggests that by doing that, we can lessen the impact of the clouds of struggle, making fear a deeper path to understanding ourselves. I want you to take just a second. Close your eyes, if you will, and take a breath. Think of a fear that you have. It doesn't have to be a monumental fear, anything at all that you have. Think about it for a moment. What is it? Where does it come from? What is it about? Now stop thinking about it and experience it. How does it feel? What does the fear feel like? And how do you feel about it? Take a breath and open your eyes. That's long enough to sit with that. How was that? Did you feel tension in your body? Yeah, horrible, right? How about uncomfortable? Want to get away from those feelings to do anything you want? Or did you want to take the fear, stick it in a corner of your mind, and hope it would never show up again? If you did that, you're not alone, because I've done every one of those things multiple times. When we feel fear, it's not necessarily the raw experience. You didn't feel afraid when I said, close your eyes and think about your fear. You're probably pretty cool when you were thinking about it, but when I asked you to feel it, that's when the bottom might have fallen out. The energy, no matter what it was not about that incident. It was about the story we attached to it. That story that's not true. O'Malley's primary point is fear is not the enemy. We all have fears as humans. We always will have fears, and we'll experience them for as long as we live. All these things come from years and years ago. And I have a quick story about something that has followed me through my life. When I was in elementary school, I tried to get quiet and try to figure out when was the first time I experienced this, and I couldn't come up with it. But I decided that I don't want to open my mouth in class. I don't want to be called on. Because at some point, sometime, I had given an answer, it was wrong. The teacher probably said something, I was made fun of by the kids, and I didn't want to do that anymore. But it didn't stop there. I did the same thing in high school and junior high school. I did the same thing as an adult. I'd be in a convention or a business meeting and someone was speaking and walking around the room, and I'm thinking, oh God, please don't call me. So what would I do? I'd kind of avert my eyes somewhere else and not look at whoever was speaking. Teachers figured that out, though. They'd look for people who are looking away and ask you for the answer. That's one of those things that's a good example of this, because I wasn't stupid. I just didn't know the answer. And I had been shamed into not wanting to experience that again all the way through my life. Bits and pieces of that are still around, by the way. You'd never know it, but they are. Coast Guard. She continues to describe all of the problems that are caused by this, that our clouds of struggle come from thoughts and fears, and when that happens, we're just not going to get back to the meadow. But she does offer a way out. One of the ways is not seeing the fear as an enemy, not something to overcome, beat down, or escape. See it as an opportunity to deepen our spiritual growth, because it is. It's an opportunity to change something that's not working and to move on from that and to live our lives more fully. Another way is through presence. What are all these things that we have thought about that come in to cloud up our minds other than experiences that happened before that we are bringing to the present or are projecting to what's going to happen in the future? Right? It's stuff we bring with us. If we stay in this moment, we don't experience fear. I'm not afraid right now. Afraid maybe I'll make a little goof, but I'm not afraid. I'm in the moment. And my watch says now. It does, really. Fear doesn't need to be fixed, it needs to be felt. It needs to be responded to, not react to it. And it's the most resilient and strongest factor in our lives that prevent us from experiencing life as it is. It shuts us down. In my case, I built a wall around me that was so thick that nobody and nothing was going to get in. It's a very lonely existence. And I was still afraid that somebody would get through that wall and find out what I was really like. Oh my God, nobody's going to like me then. It's the single most important factor that keeps us from experiencing the joy and love and the life that we were here to experience. The storyteller in our head is the same way. See him, wave to him or her, giggle a little, and say, you can talk all you want. That's not true anymore. Mary O'Malley's message is clear. Fear is not a problem unless we allow it to be. There's a great line from a Bruce Springsteen song, I think it was Tunnel of Love, that says you have to learn to live with what you can't rise above. If we don't want to live with fear, fear will always be there, but if we don't want to surrender to our fears and have those effects in our lives, we have to see fear not as a problem, not as something to run from, but something we can learn from and move on with that. At the center of our fears is that injured, neglected child from years ago. And in my case, I haven't helped that child much. I've not helped by trying to fix myself, remove or ignore my fears. And that little kid stays in the corner, huddled up, not wanting to be seen or noticed. I've done a few things to help that, and I've been a little successful, but not enough. The way we heal is to take steps through and let go of those clouds in our mind, but we do it through our hearts. We have tried for years to think our fears away, and in my case, it has not worked. Mary O'Malley writes, "You are the loving presence that all your fears have been waiting for your whole life. It is your heart that will heal them." And I would like to add, it is our hearts that will also heal that little boy or that little girl within us. Next week, Judy Grimes will be here for the next 2 weeks to cover the next 2 chapters of the book. I will be back on the 5th of October, and she will be here on the 12th to wrap up the series. I thank you for your attention. I thank you for your love and support. God bless you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bob. Now is the time we consider our love offering to our spiritual home here, Unity of Traverse City, a time to share our financial gifts with the ministry,
knowing that as a children of a loving God, we live in the light of abundance, deeply grateful for all that has been given and all that is yet to come. We embrace the good that God provides with joy and thanksgiving. Let's say our prosperity blessing together on the screen. Together, in the quiet stillness of my mind, I know that everything I need and desire is already mine. Woo. And so it is. Oh, and as you likely know, we are a tithing church, and I'm holding our tithing check for this period of time right now. It's going to the Cherryland Humane Society. Love and blessings. Carry on.
Soles on these shoes are wearing thin from all of the miles I have spent searching. The trail may be cold, but it's not quite frozen. But I'll find my way if I just walk each day with my heart wide open. I've been worn down like an old river stone, caught up in the current, tangled and thrown. My spirit is weak, but it's not quite broken. Let that river run, and I'll take what comes with my heart wide open. I want to take every breath like it's the last one that I'm gonna get. I want to release every regret, let go of the pain and forgive. And I want to know what it's like to live with my heart wide open. I've held on too tight, and I've let go too soon. I have built walls clear up to the moon, but now here I stand, unguarded and hoping that love calls again. 'Cause I'll walk right in with my heart wide open. I wanna take every breath like it's the last one that I'm gonna get. I want to release every regret, let go of the pain and forgive. Oh, I wanna know what it's like to live with my heart wide open. I want to know what it's like to live with my heart wide open, wide open.
Wow. Wow. Maybe next time play with feeling, all right? 'Cause Yeah.
Trying to get you to come out of your shell.
Well, I'm just reminded how wonderful the music is and so thankful. And how important it is to what we do here, how it frees our hearts and allows us to move and feel the energy and the love that actually exists, perhaps not visually, but certainly we can feel it. As we bring our service to a close, I want to invite everyone back for fellowship at the other end, where we will be celebrating a very special 50th wedding anniversary. Raleigh and Nancy Newman, it's their 50th or thereabouts, their 50th wedding anniversary, and we are so excited to celebrate it. We'll have a little special presentation, so I invite you to please stay here before we go back, because I think Dave's got, there's something that's going to be played. After the circle. Right, after the circle, so stay here, please. We also have our prayer chaplains that will be available for private prayer, confidential prayer up front.
Where's Raleigh?
You know, I am not responsible for Raleigh. So I cannot speak to that. What I can speak to is that there will be private confidential prayer here with our prayer chaplains, fellowship afterwards, as I mentioned, and why don't we form a circle, as we always do. All right, let's spread out. I don't know if we can do that. All right. So, all right, so just for protocol here, we're going to do the circle. We're going to sing the peace song like we always do, and then there'll be a presentation on the screen. Right. So I also want to know if any of you have noticed the beautiful photos that have been up. I just want to say thank you to everybody. Today it was Cliff Osling, who is a photographer extraordinaire. And I don't know about you, but I see the God in those photos. The moon shots with the beams coming through, that is a representation to me of... wow. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so let's get centered and look at this beautiful circle. This beautiful circle of fellowship and love. We are here with open hearts. They have been opened even wider and filled with love and energy and the vibrancy of spirit, releasing the divine presence within each of us to share with this community above and beyond what we have here out into our greater community and the world. And I invite you now to think of a person or a circumstance that you'd like to speak aloud into the circle, if it's comfortable for you, or hold in your heart, that you call the highest good to, knowing that this or something better is on its way. Sometimes we don't know what that is, and that's okay, for all is in divine order. Raleigh and Nancy. Kendall Kirk family. I invite you to give a squeeze of the hand that you're holding on either side, just as an affirmation, a physical affirmation that we are here together in spirit, that we are all one, and together we are strong, loving, and we bless these thoughts and prayers and calls for the highest good with our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.